Is Zack leading the Power Rangers? Next up on Just a Talk, so let's talk about it. And welcome to the Flicks, Picks and the Nitpicks, and I am your humble host, Nove718, and this is another Ranger Nation special. And I have to pose a question because as we wind down towards Power Rangers once and only, and yes, you're going to get a whole lot of content from me about that because the young kid in me is so hyped, so stoked, so excited, and all the rest of it for this series. And I'm going to ask the question because I asked already in the beginning, will Billy be the leader and be kind of the main vehicle of the story, the driving force? You look at the poster, we talked about it. The poster puts him in the center, the official poster for it. But in all the shots, my boy Zack is standing in the front screaming, "It's Morphin time." So think about it. Now, everybody's been scrubbing through the information, so I don't want to act like I broke anything new, but I've seen all the stuff that's out there because I'm geeking over this just like everyone else. My nostalgia feels is going through the roof for this. I'm so hyped and excited for this to come out. And because my favorite Ranger is coming back after so many years, and I'm in my head space or head canon, I've always been asking the question, what was he doing? And it was answered in Omega Rangers comic book series, which I do enjoy. I just do not like the mismanagement of Zack. He is always relegated to background noise, and he is completely written inconsistent himself throughout the book. So even though I enjoy seeing my favorite Power Ranger in the book thriving, and at least because I don't care when it says the only reason why he's a Mega Ranger because he left with Jason. That whole Mega storyline is all about building up Jason so he could collect enough helmets to be on par with Tommy, the greatest Ranger ever. And they leave my guy Zack at the wayside, and that's something that I don't like. He's actually he's a good character that they've done weird things to him in the comics that make you go, wow, that was an interesting choice. Why'd you go that way? And it always seems to carry the narrative of another character, never to further him or progress him as an individual character. He is where he needs to be for everyone else to get to their destination as a character. All the while, he just has no direction. So to see him up front and center, front line, and screaming "It's Morphin time" and all that is exciting to me. Because I feel like they're putting some respect on my favorite Ranger. You dig? So that being said, now I have to ask, is he going to lead? Because let's be for real, outside of Billy, like we talked about, and maybe Adam and Aisha being the Zordon, and Billy kind of being the Alpha / Zordon, but like kind of like the brains of everything. But Zack is your field leader. He's the guy. Get behind me. It's Morphin time. We fighting. Power axe, busting their ass. Power cannon. Let me back you guys up. Billy, what's the plan? I'm gonna run this down. I can execute field fighting plans. But you're the guy that has the bigger. You have the tech. You have this. You're the basically our Zordon or our Alpha, if you will. But Zack is going to be the guy up front, and that's what I want to see. And everybody's been talking about Rocky. Is he a fighter? And this is going to be all interesting what these guys are doing now in their collective lives. I don't know if we need to know if they all have kids just yet, depending on where the story goes, because there may be hints at another special too, and I think there will be, and I hope so. I actually thought this was supposed to be a couple of episodes, but it's just a one special 55-minute special, and I'm hoping that there will be a part 2 to the special where they could further these characters. And I understand it's always about passing the baton, but Why can't we have OG Rangers out here still fighting? These guys look pretty damn good. You know, convincing enough that if they was to power up in the suit, they could go back out there and bust some ass. And I think that Rocky looked like he could still go beat somebody's ass up. I don't think they'll be flipping like that. Zack looked like he could probably bust a flip or a back handspring still, but I'm not sure if he could do all the extra stuff he used to do. But at the same time, he's still hyper athletic. He's still a dance champ, if I'm not mistaken. I think these are guys that could still realistically do a lot of their own stunts on their own without having to call in a double, if you will. They interesting cuts for the extra agile stuff that they may not be able to do quite as ill as they used to. But I think a lot of the up close in camera fight scenes, these guys been trained fighters from before. I think they can actually handle the on screen battles. But again, I want to see Zack lead. And this is my plight for Zack. He was second in command from the beginning until Tommy came in, and then it was kind of like Tommy and Jason, and they never really called Jason second in command. But we always known, even when they said the White Ranger's the leader, we always knew Jason was still the leader out there. But we knew what Jason was. He's supposedly the most powerful Ranger. He will be created from Zordon's white light and all of that. So we kind of knew what this. He was the special Ranger. Like, you could bring him out now. Like, you could honestly, at that point when he was White Ranger, literally say, yo, he is the White Ranger and he is the leader. He gonna frontline this, you know. But at the same time, we all know Jason, no matter what, everybody was gonna look to Jason as a leader because he just had that imposing presence as soon as he got on screen in terms of as the leader. Now, in terms of, like, outside of beating the leader, that was all it was. Like, he wasn't cool like Zack, you know, where he could be all personality. You know, Zack was the personality. He was the Zack Morris of the squad. He was the cool one. You feel me? And then you had everybody else around, like the popular girl in Amy Jo Johnson's character, Kimberly. You know, you had all these other things. So if you ask me, the opening scene is going to be set the stage for what had happened, how Trini dies. And I think everybody as a collective in the Ranger Nation kind of feels like that's where it's going to go. It's not a flashback, because first everybody said they thought it was going to be a flashback. I don't think it's a flashback. This is how they set the stage for what's going to happen moving forward. And if they called off all the Rangers to come, and let's say they got captured Jason, Kimberly, and they were like, because they show little small Hasbro figurines of them in the background, almost like they got shrunk and taken away. That's the reason why they had to go get Rocky and Cat to facilitate the vacant Ranger seats. And Yellow, we already know who's going to take on Yellow, and now we got a full Mighty Morphin team absent the Green Ranger. And they say that they feel like Tommy was also one of the figurines too, and at the time when they filmed it, Tommy was alive. The actor Jason David Frank is no longer with us. So what do you do with that? A lot of things that can happen, but now that you've removed them, Zack is second in command. Let him do what he came to do, and I hope they show him as a leader. And I hope they show him not just as the leader as I always saw him, not just the leader that I always saw him to be, but the character that I think that he could be so much more powerful, and there's just so much more you could do, especially with an actor like him that's had more credited on-screen roles than maybe not Amy Jo Johnson, but all the other ones. So why can't we push him to this test and really give his best effort to a series that has transcended for so many different years that he could come back 30 years later and have the fans lose their mind again, just like it was 93. You feel me? And he can fight. He looks great for his age. He actually looks a lot more able than everyone else. I think this is the moment that you should allow for Zack to be the front line. I'm not lying. Zack Taylor for president. That's how I'm moving. But let me know how you guys are moving. Do you feel my plight? This is the second, the second in command Black Ranger. This guy can actually do his full on stunts. Back in the day by himself, he could actually hang with JDF and Austin when you seen them sparring. These guys had it. Zack has it. He can hang with that. Allow for him, especially with all this time in passing, give him a rich backstory. Don't just say he wasn't doing nothing. Listen, I want to know that Zack is, they develop his character, at least for once. Because he only came back to voice villains, and we need this. I tell you, I need this. But no one needs anything in entertainment. But I really feel like the character could use a boost. Because the fans love him. Just him being Walter. And then him as Zack was always dope. This is a moment now where you don't have all your other Rangers. Play up the most charismatic Power Ranger you guys have, and that's Zack. And he can handle the leadership role. You see my man up front, it's Morphin time, and you felt that. I want Zack to own this, and I feel like he's gonna crush every scene that he's in front of. But I think it's gonna be an amazing series. Special nonetheless. I wouldn't be surprised. I might have certain issues with it because they always be playing my man. You know what I'm saying? The way they do him in Boom Studios. But I'm hoping the writers do him justice. You don't only have the only two Mighty Morphin characters on screen there. Let them run that. And then I want to see Rocky get some shine too. I want to see Kat get some shine. It's dope to see Adam and Aisha out there. So I really am interested to see what they're doing over there. But most importantly, I come back to this. Is Zack going to lead Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? And for me, I hope so. I wonder what you guys think. Leave it in the comments below. Do you feel like how I feel? And also let me know who's your favorite Ranger and who are you most excited to see on this special. I'm excited to see all of them, but most important, Zack and then Billy. Because I haven't seen Zack in the longest, and he's been my favorite Ranger, and I've been wanting to see what's been going on with him since, and what they're gonna canonize for the show. And then when it comes to Billy, I really want to know what happened in Aquitar, and are we gonna see any Aquitarian Rangers? Let's come with them. I don't know. Is he just now coming back from Aquitar? Was he back for quite some time? I'm curious, just like you guys are. So I will see you guys in April. But right now, in March, leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think, what you're excited for, and do you feel like how I feel, and what do you think about Zack possibly leading Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for this special? Leave it in the comments below, and as always, like, share, subscribe. See you next time. As always, to have a better outro. Chill.